let's go through your stuff together now. Now that the circumstances have changed, this should be fun.
This is after they've arrested him?
We've got a receipt here from Denny's
Ooh.
for a pawn shop ticket from Seattle last month. No name on there. Remember being in Seattle? No? Okay. Looks like you pawned a tablet. Is it yours? Do a lot of computing on the go? Greyhound or bus seat?
Mate, he's a thief. He was there trying to rob it. He got disturbed. The person knocked him out. He suddenly can't remember short-term memory, whatever it is, long-term memory, I don't know. My conclusion so far.
From Ellensburg to Seattle for about a year ago. No name on that one either. No name on that one. About a year around. What else we got? A lighter. Of course. Let's have Keelan get a hold of that for evidence. Last but not least, we have a metal pipe. Sergeant Barrow, do you mind running a test on that? Let's see what we're dealing with here.
Okay. Did I spell that wrong? Come off it, son. Okay. Yeah. Say noir. Knife. Okay. Hayley Hopkins. According to ADA guidelines, hemoglobin traces optimal control in non-pregnant blood test cases. What does that even mean? This isn't... Lab KS? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Really? Lighter. Nice lighter. Doesn't seem very accurate way of taking it, but... Well, okay.
What? It's my lighter. Lighters get passed around all the time. I don't know where I got it.
Looks pretty fancy for you.
Guess I'm fancier than you.
Guys, look. We'll figure out if any of the victims of the house are missing a lighter.
That was riveting. Yes, I'm searching the dog because no doubt when she talks about the dog, other information is going to come out.
My alibi? I'm not sure why you would need that. Actually, that's a bit rude. Where was I last night? I'll tell you. I was at home, sleeping, alone, with Ken at my feet, our usual time, 9 p.m.
And slept the whole night through.
Yep,
Never left or got up for any reason.
correct.
And you never heard anything. Like windows shattering down the street.
No. And then we woke at our usual time, 6 a.m., and had some tea, tended to the garden. You know, it's nice to see the neighborhood wake up. Then I had a little read, walked along with Ken and went to my store. I'm reading that 50 Shades book.
She's so good.
Tell us more about your dog.
Oh, Ken's lovely. A basset hound, like I told you. We've been together forever. He's getting on in years, still has that effervescent youth about him. I brought a photo if you'd like to see
Yes,
him.
please. Want to see doggy? Yay! Oh, he's so cute! This is the biggest evidence we've had so far. Okay, it's a dog. Freaking cute one, but I don't think he did it. Unless... I mentioned candles, but I don't think that's going to show anything. Lights maybe as well. Aha! So, ways you write things matters. Damn it!
So, we still don't have any theory about the explosion.
He's no.
As far as
No?
what might have caused a small amount of burning, right?
Right. We just found a couple of candles and that's it. Fire damage isn't located near all of the candles necessarily.
Any idea what that means?
Well, if the candles cause a fire damage, you'd expect wax, part of the wick nearby, for example. Burn traces. We don't have that here.
It's weird. And no evidence of anything that could have exploded either.
Yeah, no chemical residue, nothing.
Just an explosion out of midair, like a shockwave.
Shockwave.
Did you go through the explosives response course in your training when you joined the force?
Yeah, I did. Became mandatory around that time. We had all those terrorist things going on overseas.
Did you apply any of that training here?
There's nothing to work with here.
Yeah, I guess. 2 of the victims seemed unaffected by any explosion.
Interesting.
Did they teach you the basics of explosion compounds and household chemicals? Where did you do your training anyway?
Other side of the peninsula, Aberdeen. Yeah, they taught us all that. It's similar to the training you probably got, just a little more basic back then. Look, I like all the lines of questioning, I really do, but I didn't blow those kids up if that's what you're wondering.
If he's an initial suspect, how the heck is he taking lead on the investigation? And since when can you request to take lead? Really? Nothing. Evil? Hello, Ruth.
I've heard the rumors. Well, people thinking all sorts of nonsense occurs up there. Satanic rituals and other just nonsense. I suppose there's probably a hint of truth to it if you think about it. You and I have seen all sorts. All sorts. Doing their mischief up there. Arriving there in their caravans with their sigils of Baphomet patches and mall-bought trinkets. Reciting a bunch of things they read on the internet. I'd like to know what percentage are really successful up there. You and I both know, not much. Lighting some candles, chanting some tired mumbo jumbo.
Dancing, hey?
It's quite disrespectful to the site.
You're right, it is. and I think we can actually agree on something. But you may be contradicting yourself there accidentally.
Because of her
Each
store?
of those teenagers leaves a good amount of money in your store.
There we go.
You know, buying those bumper stickers and trinkets. Am I right?
Your point?
I sell a window to another world, other worlds. How they choose to apply themselves with the knowledge they acquired is up to them.
True.
We have something we need to call on your expertise for. It's this.
I'm no mind reader.
Oh,
Help me
Amen.
out.
you're not? Well, I figured with your background.
Perhaps I used the wrong choice of words. I've not developed the ability to see through physical objects.
You're psychic.
in mirrors. Would you mind telling me what it is I meant to be sharing my expertise on?
What is it?
It's a tooth.
Oh.
That is a tooth.
A big one.
Right. Well, what's it doing here?
We found it at the crime scene.
Ritual.
The victim's house. It was in the wall.
In the wall?
Yes.
Well, what was it doing there?
We thought you might know.
Oh, I see. Because of my shop.
Yes.
Your kind never liked my shop, did you, Michael? Well, if you must know what you're looking at is likely related to folk magic. From the subtropics. I assume talismanic in nature. But for what kind of spell, it's hard to guess. You could enchant or bind an incantation to someone.
Natalie to
It can be a
Craig.
number of things.
So it was personal. Someone at the house wanted to target someone.
Quite possibly. If it were used offensively, belonging to one of the deceased, well, it doesn't get much more personal than a part of someone's head.
Well, all of the deceased victims had intact teeth, though. Or enough of them that we found, I think. Could it be offensive if it wasn't from a victim?
Sure. Like an attraction spell.
A love charm.
A tooth combined with an object of the person.
What was it found with? What was it found with? What was the tooth with? The wall? Belongs to Craig.
Are you able to somehow tell who the tooth belongs to?
Oh, you mean you believe in my ability?
Psychic.
Nice, thank you, Michael. But you shouldn't have. I'm not able to track down a missing tooth in the spirit world like some ghostly private eye DDS. No, unless you know of someone missing a molar, I'd say we won't know whose it is. What I would assume, given the circumstances, it's that it's not important whose tooth it is, but more what they wanted to do with it.
Yep.
A hair is much more easy to use for those types of spells needing a piece of someone.
Give us some examples. What do people you know get up to with human teeth in combination with something like hair?
Well, like I said, it could be used for a variety of things. The wall was under the room.
Yes.
Under the room.
Is that important?
It helps.
Are these good or evil spells?
Can be both. For example, you could use it to attract someone, or on the other hand, to push them away. But such black and white lines, good and evil, don't exist in my community. Teeth are more often used as protective charms, defensive in nature. But it's
What were
hard
they
to
pointing?
say
Sorry, what were they
effective.
pointing at there? Am I supposed to be looking at the tooth or her rings?
Are more often used
Detective.
as protective charms, defensive in nature. But it's hard to say anything definite, although likely a powerful spell.
Yeah, the evidence on Ruth is getting more than the evidence on Lieutenant Colton at this point. Not that she's guilty, just the amount that I found. Okay. Really? Did I spell that right? P-S. I did. It's so frustrating. I'm not getting anything on Heather. God, is it Gardner? I can't remember her last name. Okay. What were the other people called? Brian? Nothing. What was the other guy's name? Greg. Aha!
Victim's name is Greg Sims, a junior at Western. Besides Heather, he was the only one intact.
Interesting. I wondered who those two were. I'm sorry, I'm not watching the rest of that yet. I need to write that down. Heather and Greg found intact. Interesting.
Victim's name is Greg Sims, a junior at Western. Besides Heather, he was the only one intact. Honestly, when I turned him over, his face was horrific. I'll never forget it.
Explain it.
It was his expression. He looked terrified, beyond recognition. Next to him, there were a couple gash marks going into the floor. We don't know from what. Like I said, we didn't see any visible markings on him. Definitely not like the rest of the victims.
Actually, looking over the autopsy results, it says he died of massive pulmonary failure leading to heart failure.
So he was asphyxiated? Couldn't breathe?
Yeah, but no indication of strangling was found on him or anything restricting his airflow.
So he choked to death on nothing. How's that possible?
What?
I don't know. You said he looked scared?
It was his expression. Can you die from being scared?
Depends what film you watch. How can they prove he wasn't smothered? I spelt that wrong. Oh, no. What other word did he use? Cloud? No. Lamp? Watch them. Limp. Honestly feel like I've spent more time searching for unavailable videos than I would in a Sam Barlow game, and that just sings the praises of Sam Barlow in so many ways. I can't stop that. That's just the way it is. He's wicked. Natalie isn't showing up anything. Patient? Really? Come on, man. I looked at survivor, didn't I? Witness. Did I search Ruth? What was her whole name? Ruth. Ruth what? Doesn't tell me her name.